Hey everyone, thank you for joining me here at Always Working for God, where I'm sharing Jesus all around the world. Today in this video, we will be discussing the Bible in 5 minutes, where you or someone else may have a question that you cannot answer, and all the answers are in the Bible. So the question for today is, does God force himself on us? Does God force himself on us? Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verses 16 through 18. That's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verses 16 through 18. And they say, in that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods, and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. So in these verses, God is telling us that we have a choice. He gives us the gift of choice, and we like to call that free will. But God gives us a choice to either obey his commandments, to follow in his ways, or disobey him, be disobedient, and go our own way. Our choices that we make today, that we make now, determines where we will end up for eternity. Our soul never dies. Our soul will end up either in heaven, and it will live for eternity in heaven, or it will be in hell for eternity. So the choices that we make, that if we make the choice to obey his commandments and follow in his ways, and follow his son Jesus, say yes to his son Jesus, and believe in your heart, and speak it with your mouth that Jesus died on the cross and rose again. He was crucified, he died, and rose again on the third day. We will be saved. That is our choice. Do we want to be saved? Do we want to live with God and Jesus forever in heaven? Or the choices that we make, poor choices that we make today, that we make now, to be disobedient, to not do the commandments of God, to not walk in his ways, to just be lawless and hateful, and just go against God in your lifestyle. That choice, those choices are choices that you make, and you end up in hell. And a lot of people say, "Well, I don't want to serve a God that's going to send me to hell, or kick me into hell just because I don't want to live by his rules." Well, whose rules do you think you're living by when you don't want to live by God's rules? If we choose not to live by God's rules, then we're living by the enemy's rules. The enemy is Satan. We either say yes to God and his ways, or say no to him and live by the ways of the enemy. So the choices that we make ourselves. God does not force us. He does not force us to say yes. He does not force us to say no. He doesn't force himself on us. So it's our choice. Either live by the commandments of God, or live by the commandments and rules of the enemy. So does God force himself on us? The answer is no, because God gave us the gift of choice. You can either choose life, or you can choose death.